Hey, grass grows fast here. I don't have a riding mower yet. Before I buy the riding mower, I'm trying to buy a trailer. So that's a whole nother thing. I still gotta mow this place, otherwise it just gets, there's like so much weeds and they grow faster than the grass. It attracts all the bugs and the bugs attract the animals, and some animals are attracted to tall grass and weeds. So got no choice but to cut the grass. So I'm running a Toro push mower. Got it for free. The guy who was giving it away said it didn't work and that it leaks oil. I have not found that to be the case. Ethanol free gas is pretty easy to get up here compared to New Jersey, where it's like impossible. That might be making a difference. The guy also said it leaks oil. Maybe a little bit, but I've only had to fill it with oil once. Not even fill, just a tiny bit, because it was a little bit below the fill line. It might be leaking a little bit of oil, but like when I store it in the container, I don't see any oil on the ground. Maybe it's burning oil. It's pretty common, I guess, for older engines. So there's a push mower. I got all this grass to cut. So I started yesterday, and I'm working with one hand basically, right? Or one and a half. So I'm finding I'm like pushing with my waist a lot. I'm pulling it with one hand. And then we got spots like this. It's kind of hard to see on the video, but basically it's like a little mound. If you've ever tried to push a push mower up the hill or pull it for hours, you know what I'm talking about. Now I'm on top of the mound, and this top of the mound area is where the previous owner had a fire pit, and there was a lot of like other rocks around this area, and I couldn't really get the mower through those sections because the blade hits the rock. It's not good. So I've been digging rocks out of the ground from this area, and I'm pretty much done with that. So we'll get this area mowed. I'm thinking about using those rocks. You know, like there's like a little flat spot over there. I'm gonna lay the rocks on the ground, and I'm gonna put all my lumber on top of it and try to get some kind of an airflow system going on the bottom, so the lumber has a good chance of not rotting. I think it should be fine. All right, so I guess I can't really do anything until I finish this project of mowing. Another problem with the mowing is I got a lot of crap on the yard. Got like containers, I got a old wood stove, got a tote over there, an RV, there's a tractor behind that truck, and then that whole section near the cabin where I'm like washing dishes, and I got a sink set up over there at my outdoor shower. So every time I mow, and there's also this water line that comes from top of the hill on the spring down into the cabin. And then my Starlink satellite has a wire going from the RV to the cabin. So it's a pain in the ass because I gotta move things as I mow. I'm kind of anal, I guess, in wanting to do a complete job, but I got time. I guess that's sort of one thing I do have. Well, maybe not really if I want to stay here in the winter, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm not done mowing the lawn yet, but I'm waiting for my hamburgers to thaw, and I felt like I could use some calories before I finish the mowing. So while I'm waiting for the hamburgers to thaw, I started leveling or making a little pad for my lumber. There's all my lumber on the ground, on top of the tote, and on the truck bed. So this is it's kind of just dirt here, not much plant life. It used to be where the previous owner was storing, or he had put like a smaller camper here, which he was supposed to give to me, but the guy is kind of a flake. I don't know. I won't. Maybe I'll get into that someday. But the closing was like, it wasn't that stressful because we're arguing over like $500, but it wasn't the smoothest. Anyways, what we're doing here is I put some rocks on the bottom, and it's not like perfectly level, but good enough. It's probably gonna sink over time anyways, and it's off the ground a good 6 inches. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side, and then we'll do like a Jenga. I guess it's not really a Jenga. It's a log cabin kind of thing. I think my beef patties are probably thawed by now, so I'm gonna eat. Let's see. I finished eating the hamburgers and just wanted to share how I'm handling my garbage and dish cleaning kind of situation here. So I got a induction cooktop. This is pretty much the only pot I'm using right now. The induction cooktop is actually pretty cool. It's a little weird to cook with. Basically what's happening is like there's a magnet and you're using a pot that has some amount of steel in it, and it vibrates the thing so fast that it generates heat. So it's supposed to be like super efficient, and I guess it's the best for the environment, which I could possibly argue with, but let's go with that for now. So that's the induction, and now I finished eating and now I have to clean up. At this point in my life here, I don't want to pour stuff down the sink because basically it just ends up over there on top of the weeds and the rocks that are over there. So if all the food materials just ends up over there, it's gonna attract bugs and animals and stuff. So I kind of don't really have a choice but to use paper towels to scrape off the remnants of the food and the grease and stuff. I try to empty my plate as much as I can into my mouth. But yeah, so I go over it with a paper towel, and then the paper towel I put into plastic bags. Like I save all the plastic that I get. I didn't even actually buy these buns. There were people visiting. My friends were visiting, and one of them brought hamburger buns. So that's where that plastic came from. I just save all the plastic from wherever, and then as I wipe it off, I put it into the plastic, or if I have a fire going, I'll burn it. And then I put basically the plastic that has like food waste in it in the freezer until I'm ready to throw it away. And I can pretty much throw it away like every day because I'll just like visit a gas station or the rest stop. Usually like for a day, I might have like that much garbage. Like if I was cleaning, I might have like a small garbage can full of garbage, and I just dump it in the bigger trash. There's also a town transfer station, but they're only open 2 days a week in a limited hour basis. So I just really take my recycling there, which is cans. Yeah, so I'll wipe it off. Then I wash it in the sink. Then it dries. Then I take it in. And I think that's pretty much all there's to it. And I think this like method has been working pretty good for keeping things clean and keeping the animals away. I guess I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on burning wood and burning paper. I feel it's okay for the most part. If you Google it, like most of the stuff that you'll see online will say burning wood is carbon neutral. The idea behind it is that if you leave a piece of wood out, it'll rot, and then as it's rotting, it releases carbon into the air. So the argument is that if you burn that same piece of wood, it's going to release the same amount of carbon as it would have over time. I guess I just go through it. Like my quick 2 arguments against that is I believe if you leave it on the ground, some of that carbon will go into the ground and not into the air. Probably like 90% will go into the air, but some will remain on the ground. And the other thing is, imagine like, okay, so burning wood is carbon neutral, so let's all do it. Can you imagine what would happen? So, I don't know. I think like you can poke holes into like any argument. The whole carbon neutralness of it is like why I don't feel too bad about using paper towel, because the paper towel comes from wood. Of course, there's transportation costs and like equipment releasing carbon into the air and stuff like that. But I don't know. Again, like I gotta do the best I can do. I mean, as I get more set up here, like I'll be less wasteful as time goes on. But like as I'm like trying to be here, and it's not totally a survival situation, not quite a homestead, right, or a survival situation, but like there are things I have to do to get myself set up here. So